Wagwan Popcorn and Onofasa Medea. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel for my loyal viewers. My name is Michaela, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about tips on how to take care of your type 4 hair. All right. I have my notes right here to the side of me because this is going to be an informational video. So if you see me looking off to the side, it's so I don't get lost in the sauce. Okay. All right. So we're going to get right into it. The first tip, you have to wear something that protects your head at night when you sleep. And specifically, I would recommend a satin bonnet or some sort of satin head tie. Leaving your hair out when you sleep, for one, the type of material that you allow your hair, I should say, to just rest on sometimes is not compatible. Like, I don't know who in the world would ever have wool pillowcases, but if you have a wool pillowcase and you just rest your head on it without having anything on your head to protect it, the hair is gonna just tug at the material and it'll just snag at your ends. It'll start to create split ends and it's just not going to be fun. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll probably have stuff in your hair. So just protecting your hair at night, making sure that it is squared away so that when the next morning you wake up, it's in the same condition that you left it in from the night before. Or some people like to do satin pillowcases, so that some people really don't like to wear anything on their head when they go to bed. So satin pillowcases work too. I use satin pillowcases, but I move a lot in my sleep, and sometimes I'll end up on the pillow that's cotton. So it's really just your preference, but always, always, always have something on your head when you're going to sleep, okay? The second tip is to oil your scalp. I can't stress this enough, okay? Your hair is like a plant. It needs to be taken care of. It needs to be tended to. It needs to be fed, okay? You have to feed your hair those nutrients. I normally like to use carrot oil or infused shea butter oil. Like, it depends on just like what your hair likes, but some sort of oil that is going to feed your scalp and that is going to keep it moisturized, and it'll help to promote hair growth or retaining the length, whatever your goal is for your hair, right? And some people might wonder, well, how often should I be oiling my scalp? Well, I'm gonna tell you. So everybody's different, and there's a couple ways to do it. For me personally, okay, you don't have to take my advice, but for me personally, I like to, at nighttime, oil my entire head. And it makes it easier when my hair is in a protective style like this because the parts are visible and it's easier to really get into the nitty-gritty spots. I like to oil my entire head at night, right? I make sure I get my edges, and I like to use these parts of my finger to really massage my head, right? You want to make sure that you're massaging the oil into your scalp to making sure all of those nutrients get into your head. Specifically, putting y'all on game right now. So I purposefully oil my head before I take a shower, especially when I have a protective style and I'm wearing it in a bun when I go in the shower. I like to oil my scalp right before I go in the shower because I like to take hot showers. And when you take hot showers, your scalp and your pores, they start to open up. So when you're in the shower, you can really like get it in there, and it's just getting the nutrients into your scalp, right? It just helps it get in there a lot better and to promote whatever goal you are looking for, okay? So in the morning, I don't like to oil my edges because I like to do my edges. And I tried it one time. I oiled my edges in the morning, and then I tried, rubbed it in and everything, but then I tried to use edge control. That thing wasn't gonna stay. Even if I tied my edges down, that thing was not gonna stay. It was just too much product on a product, right? So I'll oil my head in the morning, but at nighttime, before I go to sleep or before I take a shower, I'll oil my entire head so that when I get into the hot steaming shower, them pores open up, okay? My next tip is to stick to a wash routine. Okay, sticking to a wash routine means that you are washing your hair X amount of times for the month, and that you're being consistent in the products that you're using if you want to see those results. So once again, for me personally, I noticed that washing my hair bi-weekly 2 times for the month is all my hair needs, right? And you don't want to manipulate your hair too much, but that gets into my next tip. But we're talking about wash routines, okay? So I like to just stick to the same wash routine. So I will give you guys my wash routine, which is also going to be in another video. But for me, on the days that I don't do protein treatments, I like to, sometimes I'll use a pre-poo, and then I'll shampoo twice, condition, and then when I come out, I'll deep condition with heat. Thank you. For the days where it's a longer process, I like to do a protein treatment and then go through the same process again. But the key is consistency. Consistency with scheduling, washing your hair, and consistency in the products that you use to achieve the results that you're looking for. Another tip to taking care of your type 4 hair are trims. Oh my goodness. Trims and deep conditioning go hand in hand. And protein treatments. Those are like, that is like my recipe to success with my hair. And it's crazy because that is the time where I've seen the most growth in my hair, or like, you know, just a change in like thickness or whatever the case might be. So trims, you want to get trims every 3 months. Okay. Some people say 4, but I'm like, it depends on the speed of how fast your hair grows, and also just what styles you're doing to your head, because some of those styles might manipulate the ends of your hair where you get split ends a lot quicker. But for me and my purposes, every 3 months, and I don't miss a beat. Okay, you do not want to miss a beat. Once again, that consistency and that discipline, okay, you have to have. All right, my next tip is to just examine your hair, study your hair. What do you notice? What happens to your hair when you're in the shower? What do you notice? What happens to your hair when you use certain products in it? So using honey, for me, my hair loves honey so much, right? It just makes my hair so soft and smooth. And sometimes examining your hair is doing a porosity test. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but it's okay, we're here. So as I was saying, you want to make sure that you find out your hair porosity. There are 2 different types of porosities. You can have a low hair porosity, where it takes a while for your hair to absorb moisture and product and water sits on your hair. Or you could have high hair porosity, where it's your hair absorbs so much moisture and water so quick, but then it dries out. So it's very important. Figure out your hair. And once you know those porosities, you'll be able to find what products cater to which type of porosity. And the way to test this is very simple. Pull a strand of hair, put it in water, let it float, see where it goes. And if the hair floats to the bottom, that means you have high hair porosity. That means like the water absorbed it so quick, it just sunk to the bottom. If you have low hair porosity, it's going to sit at the top because it's taking a while for the water to get into that hair strand. My next tip is to ask questions. When you're getting your hair done, when you're getting protective styles, or if you go to a salon, ask questions about your hair. These people are doing your hair, so they're examining it, and they're able to see certain things that you might not even know. Ask, how's the health of my hair? What type of curls do you think I have? Ask those questions. It is okay. My next piece of advice is to use as less heat as possible. I know I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I had to blow dry my hair, and it's okay to use heat, but you just got to make sure that you're taking those precautions of using things like heat protectants, or like there's certain protectors and protein treatments that you can put into your hair while you are washing it, because heat, baby, is going to damage them curls. Okay, be careful. Massaging your scalp is so important. This is my next tip, okay? When you massage your scalp, you wake up your follicles in your hair, and you're waking up the pores to make sure that all of the nutrients are entering the scalp so that it can be as hydrated, as healthy, as full of hair food, for lack of a better word, as possible. Even when I oil my edges, like I make sure if it's one thing that I'm gonna massage, is the line of my hair, because you know my edges are very sensitive, and I try to make sure that I give it a lot of TLC, tender loving care. All right, so just gently, gently for about 10 to 15 seconds every time I oil that part of my hair. My next tip is low manipulation hairstyles. I cannot stress this enough. When you keep fiddling with your hair and combing it and doing all this extra, you're aggravating it. So low manipulation hairstyles can look like doing some cornrows, get you some doodle braids for like a week or two. Leave your hair alone. I'm telling you, ready? I challenge you to put your hair in some cornrows, put it in some doodle braids, and leave it alone. Oil it every single night for like 2 weeks. I want you to come back and comment under this channel and ask me what's happened. Maybe like 3 weeks to a month. But the point is, you're not fiddling with your hair. You're not giving it all these manipulated hairstyles, because you're leaving it alone. You're giving your hair time to just be and to just grow. Protective styles, low manipulated hairstyles, okay? I don't have to keep touching my hair. The only thing I'm really touching is my edges and my roots when it's time to oil it, okay? You want to make sure that your hair is as healthy as possible. So incorporating all of these tips, and I know it seems like a lot, but it'll come natural once you realize, like, this is my life with 4C hair or type 4 hair, and you're just going to get in the groove of it, and it's going to become a habit, right? And once you start seeing those results, you ain't gonna want to go back. You're gonna want to keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna want to keep finding ways of how to take care of your hair, how to retain length, and all of the other goals that you might be looking for. That concludes our video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Please comment below any questions you have, anything that you want me to answer. I'm your girl, all right? So as always, peace, y'all.